My U-boat men, my wolves. The enemy in his desperation believes he has found a new trick. He sends his cowardly yabos to hunt you in the dark, believing he can break your nerve. He is wrong. This war is not won by machines. It is won by will. It is won by the man with the harder heart and the stronger spirit.
Section 1. The Sanctuary of the Night. January 12, 1943. 01:17 hours. North Atlantic. The air on the conning tower of U-124 is so cold it feels like breathing in needles. Capitan Lieutenant Johann Moore pulls his collar tighter, the damp wool scratching his neck. Below his feet, the steel deck of the Type IXB U-boat shudders as it cuts through the black rolling swell. This is the Black Pit, a vast 1,000-mile gap in the mid-Atlantic where Allied land-based aircraft cannot reach. Down here, Moore and his men are kings. The night is their fortress. A hatch clangs open, and the Wachoffizier, first watch officer, climbs up, handing Moore a steaming mug. All quiet, Herr Kalu. Diesels are running smooth. Batteries will be fully charged in 2 hours. Moore nods, sipping the bitter, hot liquid. This is the U-boat's ritual of life and death. For 20 hours a day, they are submerged, running on electric motors, stalking convoys, breathing stale, recycled air thick with the smell of diesel, unwashed bodies, and cooking onions. Then, under the cover of total darkness, they must surface. They are blind and deaf to sonar while on the surface, but it doesn't matter. The night is a perfect, impenetrable cloak. On the surface, the boat comes alive. The great diesel engines roar to life, gulping in the fresh, frigid air, not only powering the U-boat, but crucially recharging the massive lead-acid batteries that are its lifeblood when submerged. The crew, in shifts, gets to come topside for a few precious minutes, to smoke a cigarette and escape the claustrophobic hell of the iron coffin below. For Moore, and for every U-boat captain in Karl Dönitz's wolf packs, the night is not something to be feared. It is their greatest weapon. "Me talks?" Moore asks, more out of habit than concern. The watch officer taps the crude wooden antenna affixed to the bridge. It's a cross-shaped receiver, nicknamed the Biskaya Kreuz, or Cross of Lorraine. It is, in their minds, a perfect defense. The device is a simple listener, tuned to the 1.5-meter wavelength of the Allies' ASV Mark II radar. If an Allied patrol plane, a Vickers Wellington or a B-24 Liberator, gets within 30 miles, the METOX will pick up its radar emissions. The radio operator below will hear a faint beep, beep in his headphones, a sound that gets faster and louder as the plane approaches. Long before the aircraft is close enough to see them or drop a flare, the cry of "Alarm! Flieger!" will echo through the boat. Moore and his lookouts will scramble down the hatch. The vents will be slammed shut, and the U-124 will crash dive, vanishing beneath the waves in less than 40 seconds. Safe. This tactic has made them the undisputed masters of the Atlantic. The happy time of 1940 and 1941 has returned. Allied shipping losses are catastrophic. They are sinking ships faster than the Americans and British can build them. The U-boat arm is, by itself, winning the war. Moore scans the horizon one last time. Nothing but blackness. The sea and sky are one. He feels the familiar vibration of the diesels beneath his boots. He is safe. He is a hunter. And his prey, the lumbering, fat merchant convoys, are just over the horizon. He raises his binoculars, confident that if any danger approaches, his METOX will give him all the warning he needs. He is completely, terribly wrong. Section 2. The Hunter in the Dark. February 2nd, 1943, 0240 hours, over the Bay of Biscay. Inside the freezing aluminum skin of a Vickers Wellington bomber, Flight Lieutenant David Marks stares into a void of impenetrable black. His aircraft, F for Freddy, from RAF Coastal Command, drones on, 8 hours into a mind-numbing anti-submarine patrol. These patrols have been, for months, an exercise in futility. They are the bait, not the hunters. Every time their old ASV Mark II radar paints a target, the contact vanishes. The U-boats, alerted by their METOX receivers, are gone, crash diving into the depths long before Freddy can get within 20 miles. The crews are frustrated, cold, and feel utterly useless. But tonight, something is different. In the cramped, dark station behind the cockpit, Flying Officer Alec Price leans forward, his face illuminated by the sickly green glow of a cathode ray tube. This is the Magic Eye, the new ASV Mark III. It doesn't just ping on a 1.5-meter wavelength. This is a scanner. A rotating transmitter in the aircraft's belly sprays the sea below with a beam of high-frequency, 10-centimeter radio waves. A wavelength so new, so short, that the Germans have no idea it exists. The beam returns, painting a crude, glowing map on Price's screen. The Black Sea is a fuzzy, static-filled circle. But then, he sees it. "Skipper!" Price's voice crackles over the intercom, calm but sharp. "Contact, bearing 015, range 8 miles. In the cockpit, Marks and his co-pilot stiffen. "Alec, are you sure?" Marks asks, his voice tight. No chatter on the old set, nothing. "Positive, Skip. It's a surface contact. Small, sharp return. It's a sub, I'm sure of it. And he's steady, still on the surface. 8 miles. At this range, a U-boat with a METOX would have been underwater for 5 minutes. Marks grips the yoke, his knuckles white. This is it. He pushes the nose down, easing the bomber into a shallow, quiet descent. The roar of the twin Hercules engines deepens. "Bomb aimer, stand by. Prepare flares and charge," Marks orders. In the nose turret, the bomb aimer flips his switches, his eyes peering into the blackness. He can see nothing. Absolutely nothing. "Alec, talk me in," Marks says. Range 6 miles. Bearing steady. He's not moving. Must be charging batteries. Price's voice is a low monotone, betraying no emotion, just reading the data. Range 5, 4. Bearing 014, slight drift to port. Inside the Wellington, the crew is barely breathing. They are a 15-ton metal bird, flying completely blind, hunting an invisible steel shark, guided only by an electronic ghost on a screen. Range 2 miles, Price says. Steady, steady. "I see nothing," the bomb aimer shouts over the intercom. "Are you sure, Alec?" "Range 1 mile. He's right in front of us. Stand by. Stand by. Now." "Flares away," Marks yells. A moment of weightlessness. Then the night is ripped apart. A string of parachute flares ignites 1,000 feet below them, bathing the sea in a horrific magnesium-white glare. And there, caught in the sudden artificial daylight like a terrified animal, is the U-boat. Long, black, and horribly exposed. Men are scrambling on its deck, frozen in shock, their faces turned up to the sky in disbelief. The alarm horn finally blares on the U-boat, but it is far, far too late. "Target identified! Target identified!" the bomb aimer screams. "Bomb's gone." Section 3. The Impossible Light. On the conning tower of U-621, Oberleutnant Zorze Horst Schreier is blinded. 1 second, there was only the familiar dark of the Atlantic night, the thrum of his diesels, and the hiss of the spray. The next, the world is a burning white hell. He squints against the glare, his eyes watering, seeing the impossible. A 4-engined bomber, a Liberator, roaring just 500 feet above him, its bomb bay doors gaping open. "Alarm! Tauschen! Tauschen!" he screams, fumbling for the hatch, shoving his lookouts down. But there was no warning, no beep-beep from the METOX, nothing. The sky was silent, empty, and then it was full of death. It's a violation of the laws of this war, a betrayal of the physics that has kept them safe. Flight Lieutenant Marks hauls the Wellington into a steep, banking turn, the airframe groaning. He and his co-pilot look down, their faces pressed against the cockpit glass. They watch as the string of 6 250-pound depth charges, set for a shallow detonation, march across the U-boat's path. The sea erupts. 6 plumes of white water climb into the sky, colossal and ghost-like in the dying light of the flares. They seem to hang in the air for a second, then collapse. Boom, boom, boom. The concussions, even at this altitude, feel like a giant's fist pounding the bottom of their aircraft. On U-621, the world ends. The first charge detonates just off the port bow. The pressure hull screams as if it's being torn in half. Men are thrown from their bunks, gauges shatter, spraying glass. The lights go out, plunging the interior into absolute, terrifying blackness, instantly filled with the smell of ozone, diesel fuel, and panicked shouting. The second and third charges hit even closer. The boat lurches violently, rolling 30 degrees to starboard. A torrent of ice-cold seawater bursts through a ruptured seal in the engine room. Wasserbruch! Wasserbruch im Dieselraum! The cry is one of pure terror. In the control room, Schreier, who had just tumbled through the hatch, knows it's over. The boat is already at a sickening angle. The dive planes aren't responding. The radio operator is yelling, his headphones ripped from his head. The METOX. It was silent. It never made a sound. Back in the Wellington, Flying Officer Price is watching his green radar screen. The sharp, bright blip that was the U-boat has vanished. "Skipper, contact lost. I think we got him." Mark circles the spot, his crew scanning the roiling dark water. A new flare ignites. Below, there is no U-boat. Only a spreading, dark stain of oil and a scattering of debris. A few pinpricks of light, the red survival strobes of men floating in the wreckage. For the crew of F for Freddy, it is a moment of grim triumph. For the Befehlshaber der U-Boot, commander of U-boats, Admiral Karl Dönitz, it is the beginning of a nightmare. His U-boat crews, surfacing in the dark, are reporting the same unbelievable story. No warnings, no signals, just a sudden, blinding light, followed by bombs. The night is no longer a sanctuary. It has become the deadliest trap of all. Section 4. The Black May, Lorient, France. March 1943. The concrete U-boat pens, once monuments to invincibility, now feel like tombs. Admiral Karl Dönitz stares at the operations map. The wall, once a field of triumphant iron crosses marking kills, is now covered in red circles, the last known positions of boats that have simply vanished. The reports from the few survivors are frantic, bordering on hysterical. They speak of a searchlight from the clouds, of a magic eye that sees through the dark. They swear their Metox receivers were silent, dead. Dönitz, a hardened submariner, at first suspects panic, incompetence. But the losses are too great. The numbers don't lie. In February, 19 U-boats were lost. In March, 15. Then, the dam breaks. May 1943. The month that will forever be known to the U-Boot-Waffe as Black May. The Atlantic is changed. The Allies have unleashed their new hunter-killer groups. Fast, maneuverable destroyer escorts are now joined by small, tenacious jeep carriers like the USS Bogue. These floating airfields sail with the convoys, carrying a new breed of hunter. The Grumman F-4F Wildcat and the TBF Avenger. Now, there is no escape. The Black Pit is gone. If a U-boat dives to attack a convoy, the destroyers, guided by ship-borne high-frequency direction finders, Huff Duff, race to the position and saturate the water with new Hedgehog forward-throwing mortars. If a U-boat tries to shadow the convoy from afar, an Avenger launched from the Bogue finds it. And if a U-boat runs to the open ocean to recharge, to find the safe cover of darkness, the long-range Liberators and Wellingtons are waiting, their 10-centimeter radar all-seeing. The U-boat crews are trapped. They are now the prey. The order comes from Dönitz himself. If you are caught on the surface, fight back. They weld new platforms to the conning towers, bolting on 20mm and 37mm flak cannons. The iron coffins become flak traps. It is an act of pure desperation. May 21st, 1943. U-258. Kapitän-Leutnant Wilhelm von Fiedler gives the order to surface. His batteries are dead. His air is poison. The crew is pale, their nerves shredded. They have been hunted for 48 hours straight. Surface! Flakmannschaften auf Gefechtsstationen. Surface! Flak crews to battle stations. The boat breaches the waves, water streaming from its hull. Gunners scramble to their weapons, spinning their chairs to scan the low gray clouds. The Metox is silent, but the air crackles with a tension they can all feel. A lookout screams, "Flieger, achtern!" Aircraft, astern. A B-24 Liberator, V Victor of number 224 Squadron, is already in its attack run, diving out of the cloud base less than a mile away. It saw the U-boat on its radar long before the boat had even finished surfacing. "Feuer!" von Fiedler roars. The 20mm cannons bark, sending streams of red tracers into the sky. But the Liberator is too fast, its metal skin too thick. It shrugs off the hits, its own 50 caliber machine guns spitting fire, sweeping the conning tower clean. Von Fiedler watches his men fall. He feels a white-hot pain in his chest. He looks up and sees the belly of the plane pass over, and the depth charges falling. He knows in that last final second that the Metox was a lie. The night was a lie, and the war is lost. Section 5. The Reckoning. At Dönitz's headquarters, the month of May 1943 closes like a steel door. The numbers are presented. They are not losses. They are an annihilation. 41 U-boats, 41 experienced crews, lost. In a single month, This is more than a third of his entire operational force. The convoys are getting through. Allied shipping losses have plummeted to their lowest level since 1941. The Tonnage War, Germany's single greatest hope of starving Britain and preventing an American invasion, is over, and it ended in just 90 days. On May 24th, Dönitz, his voice grim, gives the unthinkable order. He pulls his wolf packs out of the North Atlantic. The primary hunting ground is abandoned. It is a total strategic defeat, but the question remains howling in the halls of the Kriegsmarine Command. How? In Lorient, U-boat crews, waiting to go on their next patrol, are no longer the arrogant, laughing aces of 1941. They are quiet, pale men writing their last letters. They call the Bay of Biscay the safe passage from their French bases, der Selbstmördersbucht, Suicide Bay. They know the Wellingtons and Liberators are waiting for them. They know their Metox is useless. They know they will surface at night to charge batteries and will be lit up by a searchlight they never saw coming. German engineers are in a state of panic. They tear apart every piece of Allied equipment they can find. The answer, when it comes, is devastating. It comes from a downed RAF Sterling bomber that crashed near Rotterdam. In its wreckage, they find a small black metal box. It is the Rotterdam device, a cavity magnetron. At a laboratory in Berlin, a German scientist, Dr. Nissen, hooks the device up. When he switches it on, his team stares in utter disbelief. The magnetron is generating a staggering 10 kilowatts of power. Not on the 1.5 meter wavelength, but on a 9 centimeter wavelength. The blood drains from their faces. In an instant, they understand everything.
Their Metox receivers? They are designed to listen for a foghorn, and the Allies are attacking with a dog whistle. The Biscaya Kreuz on the U-boat bridges is a useless piece of wood and wire. It is deaf to this new, high-frequency, centimetric radar. The Allies aren't just seeing them in the dark. They are painting the U-boats with a beam of light so fine, so precise, that the German crews, surfacing blind, are illuminated on a radar screen miles away with the clarity of a photograph. The Kapitänleutnants were not hysterical. They were not incompetent. They were, quite simply, ghosts being hunted by a god. They were the victims of a technological leap so profound it had rendered their entire fleet, their tactics, and their bravery obsolete. The U-boat captains, once the terrors of the deep, finally understood. They couldn't believe they were being found in the dark, because they were being hunted from a future they couldn't even imagine.